The last thing that I want to talk about regarding basic drumming technique is showmanship. This is the reason why I've got this uncomfortable little smile on my face, is because showmanship is always a difficult thing for me to put in an instructional product or to actually teach somebody, because many people, when I did give lessons a while back, always asked me, how do you do the stick flip or how do you do the spins? And it just feels like that's completely unnecessary, because you can't really hear the stick flip, you can't really hear the spins on tape. They don't record very well, but they look cool and it's a lot of fun to play. I think it's fine if you approach them that way. Personally, I don't do stick tricks to impress people. I mean, that's a nice little byproduct. It's nice if people enjoy seeing you do some crazy stick tricks around the kit, but the main goal for me is just because it's fun. I enjoy the physical aspect of drumming and maybe being able to use these sticks to do some cool visual things. And it feels good if you can play a beat and do a stick trick and keep the beat going. It's just a sense of accomplishment. So that's my main approach to showmanship. So I'm not trying to teach you how to impress people or get girls or boys. But for me, it's just a question of enjoying the kit more in a visual way, not just an audible way. I think the thing that I use the most is just the stick throw. And I love that this is the simplest thing on earth. It's just throwing something into the air and then catching it again. No complicated physics, no spinning the stick in 534 degrees and like something interesting. It's just the fact of throwing the stick into the air and catching it. The biggest issue with this is timing. And to kind of keep this going while you're keeping a beat going, or maybe doing it in a small little gap or a small little break in a song. But in essence, throwing the stick in the air and catching it. I think one tip that I can give is, instead of throwing the stick up, you can sometimes throw the bottom end of the stick, the butt end of the stick, you can throw that down and kind of catch the stick in the same place. Sometimes that's a really cool technique to use because it doesn't require as much time, because if you throw a stick into the air, it's got a lot of hang time, but if you kind of just do that, then it's a bit shorter than that. Oh flip, almost hit the camera. But that's a lot shorter than throwing the stick into the air. That's something to keep in mind, especially for short little breaks. I like doing that. I love doing that a lot. It's simple and it looks cool. And that's always a good combination. Another thing that's kind of synonymous with drummers is the spinning of the sticks. And I know this looks like a spin if you look from that angle. I know this looks like a spin. It's actually not, well, I guess it is a spin, but the stick never leaves your fingers. So if you check from the front, that's what it looks like. It's just using the weight at the back of the stick and at the front of the stick, and the pivot point being between two fingers, and just like pivoting the stick like that. So it's actually not leaving your fingers at all, but it looks cool from the front. So be sure that if you play this, to spin it like this and not like this, because otherwise people are just going to think you're kind of nicely pivoting the stick, but it looks cool from the front. Another thing that I like doing is another form of a spin. It's a bit more complicated though, and a bit more of a chance if you do this live, because the stick actually leaves your fingers. So there is chance of dropping it. That's the cool thing about this. The stick never leaves your hand, so you can kind of keep this going without having a chance of dropping the stick, because it stays in your fingers the whole time. But the other one that I like using, this one, the stick actually leaves your fingers for like a split second. If I do it slowly, you'll see that there's like a point at the top of my finger where I'm let go of the stick, and I just kind of catch it at the bottom again. So it kind of just goes over the top of my finger. This is one that I kind of stumbled across when I started playing. I actually had a pair of drumsticks for like 2 or 3 months before I had a drum set. So strangely enough, I could spin the sticks before I could play drums. And this was kind of my favorite at the time. I tried to emulate like the actual corny cliche drummer stick spin, but I didn't know how they did that, so I just tried to fake that kind of in my own little way, and that's what I came across. So it's just a different little spin. And many times when I sit behind the kit, I don't know why, it's just something that I do Like, I don't know why. It's just something that it's just like, it's a little habit of mine, I guess. When I sit behind the kit, it's just something that I kind of use to ready myself to get into the groove or start the song. So you can use the same technique kind of in combination with the other one to create that kind of vibe. But like I said, this isn't really important. Don't break your head over this too much. It's just a lot of fun to be able to execute these, I guess, visual forms of expression on the kit, along with hitting the drums and playing actual drums, not just being a showmanship guy. But I love being able to do these things visually. It's a lot of fun for me to play them. What else do I do? I think I do really basic stuff, though. I don't have really complicated stick tricks. Another thing oh, the Kelly Clarkson video was just the crossovers. That's just 16th notes, da, 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 and I just split them up. So I just move them on different places on the kit, but I keep the 16th notes going. It's just, I don't know why I did that. It's just a lot of fun for me. I don't think explicitly, okay, what can I do to impress people? I just dig being able to execute those visual things, and I think that's a necessary approach to showmanship. I think if you start doing tricks in such a way that like your playing suffers from it, so you play a groove, but you doing stick tricks makes the groove drag or makes you miss strokes that would have added to the groove, made it a better groove, then I think that's not a healthy approach. But I think it's a lot of fun to do stick tricks. Sometimes it's a great sense of accomplishment. So just keep the right mindset. Like I said, they don't record really very well. You can't hear them that good on tape, but they look cool and they're a lot of fun to play.